This conference will now be recorded.
So I started my career as an entry-level engineer, like in ASP.NET, ADO.NET, and SQL Server as a backend. So I have worked on this HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, Angular, and React as well. So currently working as a senior consultant in one of the MNC. So current technical stack I am working as ASP.NET Core or React, Azure, and repositories using GitHub. And okay, so just a 2 minutes introduction from you. Like we'll start online members first. Yeah, Lakshit, just introduce yourself and share your email ID as well in the chat. Hello, we can't hear you actually. So. You're not audible. Hello. Or else Raghavendra, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, very good morning. My name is Raghavendra and I am from Hyderabad. I have completed my graduation in 2019 in BA from Osmania University. So since then I've been preparing for civil services and right now I was looking for a job so that uh, I've started taking the training right now. Yeah, that's it.
Hello, Raghavendra. So you are a 2019 graduate from Usmania University, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Specialization in RAM.
BA, BA.
BE and computer science or electric.
No, BA, sir. Bachelor of Arts.
BA, okay. So I thought of BE. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I have
Thanks,
shared
Raghavendra.
my email ID also.
Sure, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Trilakshana, can you hear me? Okay, meanwhile, yeah, just introduce yourself. Sit, sit. Twenty 2022. Recently. Yes. Can you give me your mail ID? Mail ID, please. BSc, MC, CC. 2021, right? Okay, so I'll start with the basics again. Okay, just bear with me. You can listen those things. Okay, I think those who are in online, so I think I can. You can listen me. I think, right?
Yeah, you're audible.
Sure, sure. So I'll start with the basic C sharp introduction today. So before that, so any idea about what is a .NET and what are the modules involved in .NET? Collection of? Yes, okay. Guys, those who are in online also, you can tell yes, no.
Yeah, a little bit of idea regarding the course.
Okay. Any programming knowledge before that? Any
Yes, sir.
language?
Yeah, I have some basic knowledge of
Basic knowledge on which technology?
Java, sir. Java.
Okay, fine. Let me open Notepad and I'll give you a brief. Let me know once you can see this Notepad. It is- Maybe tomorrow I'll share you the Zoom link better. So instead of this, Zoom is better. So you have a low bandwidth also, we can connect easily. Okay, so, I'll start with basic thing. What is a .NET? Okay, so why do we need .NET? Like, so we have lot of programming languages, right? Java, .NET, Python, PHP, or else any XYZ web applications are programming languages. SAP also, ABAP is also a programming language for SAP module. So why do we need a .NET? And so what is the modules we are going to cover as part of this .NET? Okay, so .NET. So we have by using a .NET, we can design or develop or create a web application or Windows application or a console application. So .NET will be used most of the companies for mid-level and higher mid-level applications. Okay, so Java is used mostly for vast applications, but .NET majorly, if you take it on an average, so majorly use it for mid-level and above mid-level applications. So, what are all the modules we'll be covering as part of .NET? So C# is a code behind language or as programming language we'll use in this .NET. Then ASP.NET Core, ASP.NET Core to design a web application. So this is a latest framework. So most of the companies are using 3.1 is a version, but currently we are using 6.0. 6.0 is the latest version. So recently they have added or launched this 6.0 version. So I'll discuss what are all there. So previously with the 3.1 version and the 6.0 version, what they have introduced. To connect with the database, we are using SQL Server. Okay, and first majorly we'll concentrate on these three. After this, maybe I'll tell you Azure, how to integrate Azure with your application, and maybe any UI things. Maybe we'll discuss later. So UI we have Angular or React .js. Okay. So first, concentrate. Try to concentrate on C# first, because C# is a programming language or program code behind language for these frameworks. So if you see here, before ASP.NET Core, we have ASP.NET, come on, ASP.NET MVC. So now the ASP.NET Core came into the picture, because if you see ASP.NET, it is confined to the limited features. Let's say ASP.NET uses view state actually. So if you take any control, so it is taking lot of time. So performance hit is there. So if you want to load or if you want to process hundreds of data, thousands of data, so it is taking lot of time. That's why ASP.NET MVC came into the picture, because it is a lightweight and it follows a different pattern. MVC is nothing but model view controller. So model view controller, so it follows different architecture and it processes the data in a different way compared to ASP.NET. So we'll discuss those in a later session. Just I'm giving a heads up. That's it. Okay. So ASP.NET Core altogether designed or from a scratch. So if you see ASP.NET is already there. ASP.NET MVC is designed or developed on top of ASP.NET. Okay, there is an interlink between these two. But if you see ASP.NET Core, this was designed and developed from scratch. Okay, so there is no interlinking between these ASP.NET Core and MVC to ASP.NET Core. Okay, because ASP.NET Core, so nowadays if you see as the technology evolve, so a lot of mobile applications are there. So to run on a different cross platform, so to support a cross platform, so they have introduced this ASP.NET. So if you want to run your program in Windows or as a Windows instance, so desktop application or a web application or mobile applications or in a tab. So anything, any device, if you take any device, so we should create a program in once or solution in once, and it should run in all these platforms. So that's why they have used or they have created this ASP.NET Core. It's a cross-platform support. Cross-platform support. So what was that? And maybe we'll discuss in the later section. So this Azure. So if you see, if you want to process 1 crore users, or if you want to process 1 crore of data, if you store in SQL Server also, it will take a lot of time, right? So to process any data, if it is hundreds or thousands, it is fine. If it process lakhs, or if it process more than 10 lakhs or 1 crore, it is very difficult to store the data. If you see, if you take your mobile, if it is 32 GB of hard disk or storage capacity, so if you reach 25 GB, so the processor will take some time. So to open any application or to process the data, or if you see, if memory reaches to the some stack point, it will take some time to process the data. So to overcome that, so Microsoft introduced this Azure. So Azure is a cloud application, cloud-based storage capacity. So here Azure will use these storage blobs, and we can process the data by using Azure. So basically, this is a cloud-based service. So it uses storage blobs or containers to process the data and store the data. So any queries till now, you guys? Yeah, AWS is not a Microsoft technology. Okay, so Azure is a part of Microsoft product. So Microsoft created this Azure to process these data. So AWS is also a cloud platform, but will integrate our solution with an Azure as it is a Microsoft product. Any queries, guys? Those who joined in online?
No, no.
Okay. The remaining persons like Slochana and Raghavendra.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, fine. So, sure. So we'll start with the C sharp and what is a C sharp. So, and, when it was introduced, so we'll give a brief. Sorry, guys, you have repeated class this. Okay, just try to concentrate. So C sharp, like first introduced in the year 2002. Okay, it is designed like by Microsoft in the year 2002. Okay, so first we have an ASP. Before ASP.NET we have ASP, but C sharp, when .NET came into the picture, the first C sharp was introduced, or .NET framework was introduced in the year 2002 by Microsoft. So there is a few technology evaluation in this. So the technology evolved. So if you see, starting with framework 1.0 and C sharp version, C sharp version, framework version, and features. If you want to note it down, you can just in a brief note, you can note it down. Maybe today I will share you the PPT. Okay, fine. Can you guys see my screen? So C sharp version 1.0 is the first version in the .NET. framework. And so if you see, framework version is 1.0 or 1.1. Starting with 1.0, we can call it 1.0 or 1.0. We can pronounce it in a technical term, so we can call it as 1.0. Okay, we can name it as 1.0 or 1.1. Okay, so I'll show you those properties. So it started with the basic features. And second one is like, and we are using so Visual Studio as a development environment. Okay, so Visual Studio 2002 is the starting version, or else I'll open a Word and let me open a table so that you will get an idea, or else Excel is also fine, right? So theoretical thing, I'll share you one PPT today so that you can read that, but practical things try to concentrate here. But today is an introduction again, so for now you can listen this, but meanwhile I'll give you this one quick table. Oh, shit. Don't allow me again. Okay, fine. So it will take time. So I'll share you that table, okay? So that no need to write all this. Okay? So I have the table with me. So we have so in a quicker note, I'll tell you briefly. So what are all the versions we have? So versions from right starting from 1.0. So 1.0 to the latest version is 10.0. So 10.0 is the latest version. So what are all the different versions and different frameworks, and what are all the features they have launched for each and everything? I'll share you today. Okay, I have your mail IDs, right? So I'll share you the PPT. so that we can go through and have a I get an idea on that. If you have any queries also, I'll explain. Okay, from 1.0 to 6.0 is the latest version. And if you see Visual Studio 2022 is the latest version. So there are a lot of characteristics launched or with these features. They have designed integrated a lot of features with these. So we'll discuss those also. So first, I'll start with the C sharp. So what is a C sharp and why do we need this? So if you see here, if you observe in this, we have a C sharp version and a framework version. What is a framework and what is a C sharp version? So if you take anything, so to run on to run any program, we need a framework like platform, right? So here a framework is a platform. On top of this framework or a platform, there are a lot of languages related to .NET. Like C sharp is one of the .NET language, but thing is like we have C sharp, F sharp, VB. All these will run on top of these framework. So here framework is a platform, okay, to run any .NET programming language. Okay, so framework is to set up. Let's say if you want to construct any house, let's say, or if you want to construct any apartment. So main thing for an apartment is like pillars, right? Or the support platform. So here platform is like a pillar to run a programming language like a C sharp. Clear? Any doubts, guys? Existing numbers also. If you have any queries, tell you are getting the point. Guys, who joined in online? Any queries? I can't hear
So once
you.
repeat from
No, no.
framework.
Yes,
Sir, once
yes.
repeat from framework. Sir. After features, once repeat that
Okay,
framework
okay.
is a
So feature,
platform.
yeah. So framework is nothing but a platform. So let's say you can take building as an example. So I told you, right? So to construct a building or to construct a 5-floor building, so first what we should construct, right? So we should construct those pillars, right? Pillars is nothing but a support to construct those 5-floor buildings. So similar like here in .NET, framework is nothing but is a platform to run any programming language. So here we are discussing about a C sharp, right? To run a C sharp as a programming language, .NET, in .NET we should create a platform to run any programming. So here framework is a platform to run a programming language called C sharp. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Did you got the point or?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. So I'll share you one PPT. In that we have how technology evolved from 2002 to 2022. So in between what happened, how many versions were released, and what are all the features they have introduced for each and every version. Okay, maybe I'll explain you those things. Is it clear, guys? Okay, fine. So I'll move to the other topics. Okay. So by using C sharp, what we can develop or what we can create, or can we so I told you right now ASP.NET Core came into the picture to create a cross platform. Means cross platform nothing but, so if you create one program, it will we can run that program in Windows, web, mobile, or tablets, like anything, right? So we have n number of gadgets or n number of environments, let's say. So if you run once, so if you create once, we can run in any different platform. So that is a ASP.NET Core platform. So to create any platform or to run any application, so we need a programming language, right? So to communicate with one module to another module, so we need one programming language. So here C# is the one which communicates with data or else will communicate with the different frameworks in .NET. Okay. So I'll give you, so what are all the concepts will be used. So I will show you the Visual Studio first, how it will look like. So we'll start with that. Okay. If you see, when I type in Visual Studio, so I have installed Visual Studio 2019. So here, what is a Visual Studio? So Visual Studio is nothing but a development environment to create applications in .NET. Okay. So if you see in Java, we'll use an Eclipse. Eclipse is an environment or a platform to create or run, to create any programs, okay? Or to create any project, we need the development environment. Okay, fine. See, once I open this Visual Studio, so the latest version is 2022. But if you see here in my machine, I have installed 2019 already. So how to install that? Maybe we can discuss, or else I will share you the link and followed by the steps as well. We can follow the process. If you have any queries on installing, you can reach out to me. Okay. So here, if you see right side, we have four options: clone a repository, open a project, open a local folder, and create a new project. Left side, if you see, open recent. So here this is to search the respective solution and followed by the history. So if you see your call logs, you can find out what are all the incoming calls and what are all the outgoing calls and missed calls, right? Similar like in Visual Studio, so it will save all the previous solutions what we have implemented till now. We can search with that. And if you see right hand side, get started with a clone a repository. So if you want, if you are if in your, let's say if you are working in a team of 10 members, you are, each one is working on a different module. Let's say someone is, if you take Swiggy as an example of a website. So if you open any Swiggy, if you are a new user, it will ask you for a login, or before login you should register, right? You should enter your mobile number, email ID, some basic first name, last name, so address, and it will ask you to log in or create an account. So create application is working on some two members, and once you log into application, so it should authenticate the user, whether the user email ID is valid or not, whether the user password is valid or not. That will take care of by one person, let's say. For sake of understanding only, I'm giving an example. This is not a real-time scenario. Okay. For to list down the nearby restaurants, so someone is working on that window, and a payment gateway is working on some. So XYZ modules. Okay. If we have 5 modules, 5 different developers is working on the same project Swiggy, but with a different modules. End of the day, you should combine all the code, or you should store your code in a repository, in a place, nothing but a repository. So you should combine all the code by where you'll store that code in a repository. From there, you'll fetch the code and start working on it. Okay. So once you're done with those 5 modules, you should connect all these dots so to get it done the Swiggy application, right? Are you guys following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sure. So for that, so we need this clone repository. So if you want to start, let's say you have joined in between a programming a project. Let's say it was already there in the market from last 2 years. They're developing the code. You have joined recently into that project, and you are starting a different module. But you should clone a project which was already developed by the team, right? So for that also clone a repository. So the code which was developed already, we should clone it to your local drive, C drive or D drive, anything. Then you can start working on your respective module. So clone a repository, maybe we'll discuss this in a practical way later. Just I am giving a brief. Okay. So open a project or a solution. If you want to open uh, a project or a solution which was already developed. Okay, so let me click here, open a project or a solution. See, so here desktop .NET morning, I have created one demo here. So demo one. So here if you see inside my folder, I have a demo one is my project. Okay, if I open this demo one, it has demo1.sln. SLN is nothing but extension for a solution. SLN is nothing but a solution. If you click on this demo one, you have bin object demo one. These are all supporting classes. Okay, these are all supporting classes. Bin have bin debug. So what is a bin? What is a debug? So we'll go further. Maybe today just concentrate on this folder structure. If you select this solution and click on open, it will open the .NET or Visual Studio environment with the selected demo one program or a solution. Okay, if you see, this is a development environment, so which we are going to use on your daily day-to-day basis to create or to create any class file or any project or any solution. Okay, so let's load this application. I'll show you. See guys, so this is a top window. We have file menu, edit. Under file, we have these file menu. We have the options for new. If you want to create a new project, we can create new project. If you want to create a new repository, we can select this repository. If you want to open any file or create a one, so you can create here. Project from existing code. So if you want to create a project from existing code, you can select this. Okay, so to open any project or a solution or a folder or website or a file, we have these options. And to clone a repository, cloning is nothing but a copy. Okay, cloning is nothing but clone. So in a generic term, clone means you are cloning a data from solution or a repository or any file. If you want to, if clone is nothing but you are copying or cloning the data from origin to the destination. Origin, it might be an Azure, it might be a local folder, or it might be any place or any environment. Okay, so here if you want to add new project to an existing, we have these. So these are all set of sub items. So based on so while discussing any programming, while discussing or while writing any program, I'll explain this. So these are all very straightforward web-based things. So if you want to save program, so if you want to save program as save all, page setup, so we have these characteristics in Visual Studio. So Visual Studio, which is powered by a Microsoft. This is a Microsoft product, means Microsoft created this tool to design a web or Windows or any application by using .NET. Okay, C# is a code behind inside that. So we have console application, Windows, web, or XYZ applications, right? So if you see, the second menu is edit. If you want to edit any project or cut, copy, paste, these are all pretty straightforward things. but try to concentrate here. If you see Solution Explorer, if I click on Solution Explorer in the right side, it will open one window, Solution Explorer. If you see, I just created one demo one. Demo one is a solution. See, solution demo one. In that demo one, I have one project, one of one. If you see, what was the project here? This is the project, guys. Okay, this is a project. Inside this is a class file. See, I have only one project. If you want to add one project, is nothing but one feature. So as we discussed, Swiggy, if we take solution as a Swiggy, we have different modules, right? Login page is one module, and restaurants, you can view a restaurants list, right? That is one module. If you select any item and click on next window, so it will ask you to enter the discount code with an address. That is one module or one project. In this programming term, we can call it as a project, and payment gateway is one more project. So we can track the map, right? So where the delivery person is he picking the order, or is he still waiting to pick the order, or is he pick the order and where coming to deliver? Those are one project. If you see, if you can divide those things, each module we can call it as one project. Here I have only one project here, that is program.cs. But if you take a real time, it depends on the features. Okay, so if you take a smartphone as an example, so smartphone has n number of features, right? Calling, messaging, camera, uh, lock, security, account settings, or just Play Store, Google Store. All these we can call it as a single module. Based on your requirement, your project will grow. So just for your sake of understanding, here I have created one console application with a single project. If you want to create one more project out of this, right click on the solution, right click on the solution. If you see add here, new project. Okay, if you have an existing module, if you want to add, you can go with an existing. But if you want to select a new project, you can click a new project. So you can select what was the project, whether it is a new form or a new console application. So I'll explain you this, or else I'll explain what is a console, what is a ASP.NET Web here only. Template is nothing but, so Microsoft was already designed this template. So this is a ready-made template. No need to create a template from scratch. So Microsoft created or designed this template or we can call this as a template, or else we can call it as a platform as well. See, this is a console thing. This is a console template. This is to create any web application. Let's say www.swiggy.com. If you enter that, it will navigate to that respective site. That is, if you open any URL, like if you enter any browser, whether it is Chrome, Firefox, IE, Edge, or else if you take any browser, so if you enter that URL inside the browser, we can call it as a web application, right? There is a difference between web application and a Windows application. So web application will run we can host it in somewhere, and if you open any browser and if you enter URL, that is nothing but a web application. So when it comes to Windows application, so Windows is nothing but you can install that application on your machine locally. Okay, from there you can run that application. Example for Windows application. So if you see Swiggy or else Swiggy app, so you have installed that on your local machine, and if you click on that Swiggy icon, it will open you that Swiggy application. That is a Windows application. If you enter www.swiggy.com in an URL, that is nothing but a web application. Okay, a slight edge between those two, but for both these applications, the main programming language we'll use is C#. See, C hash. Hash is nothing but we can call it as a sharp, right? C sharp is a programming language. So I want to create one more console application to my project. Just select and click on next. It will ask you to name demo 3. Okay, next. Next, create. Just concentrate, guys. So just try to observe the solution there. If you see inside this solution, how many projects I have now? 2 of 2 means 2 projects. Okay. Demo 1 is the default thing. I have created a demo 3 just now in front of you. So because I want one more module, let's say in Swiggy currently we have got 10 modules or else 10 features. I want to introduce one more to the existing application. What you will do? Just go to solution, right click, add a project. So if you add a project, so we can develop or we can introduce a new feature based on your requirement. Okay. If you take any OS, whether it is iOS or an Android, every month or every 2 months, so they will launch a new version, right? They will make few changes based on the existing difficulties. To overcome those, they will create new features, right? So let's say current system, it is lagging for 10 seconds. If you want to open any application, it is taking 10 seconds. They will, to overcome those time or else lag time, they will work on those areas and they will launch a new version. If you see, you'll get a notification when they launch a new version to upgrade, right? Update your software, update your software. Base similar like if you want to introduce any new feature, we can add a project file or else you can add a class file and you can launch the new version to the repository. Okay, in a programming term. Guys, don't confuse now. Maybe this is your first class or initial days. So I'll explain you line by line in a programmatical way so that you will get an idea. Okay, let me delete this for now. You can remove simply. See, remove. Okay, so I have only one uh, class file or a project. Inside this, I have only one. If you see, yeah, so you will write your program in a class file. Class file, the extension of a class file is .cs. Program.cs. CS is a class. Okay. Any queries as of now, guys? Okay, I hope this is a repetitive class query. No issues. Okay, fine. So what are all the things we need to discuss after this? Okay, so what is a C sharp? Versions I'll share you. So why do we need C sharp? C sharp. So to write any program logic into your application, we need these programming language. Okay. So what is the next topic? I'll see. So maybe I'll explain this a quicker note. If I open or a console application, this code was generated automatically, right? So what is a using system? What is a namespace? What is a class? What is this static void main string args? So these are all we have created, no issues. What is this console.writeLine? Okay, so all these things I'll explain you. Just concentrate here. What is this using system? Yes, any idea? Q4. What is using system? Is it a namespace or a class? So you have a class here with a class keyword. See, but here using system is nothing but a namespace which was inherited from .NET framework. If you select your framework and if you click on a new project, framework has already some features. We can call it as a DLLs. And we said DLLs are nothing but predefined things. So .NET have these framework designed namespaces. So we can call it using system is a namespace. So if you see, if I comment this using system, see, just observe here console. You will get a red highlighted saying like if you mouse hover on it, it will give you the intelligence and it will give you the error. The name console doesn't exist in the current context. Means so to use this console, we need this using system because console is part of using system. So using system was designed by the Microsoft. That is a predefined library, or we can call it as a predefined namespace. Okay. See, if I uncomment this console, the error went off and console we can use. So if you see console class system dot console, console is nothing but a class. That is also a class which was inherited from using system dot console, is a part of using system namespace. Okay, clear? You guys, other guys, those who are in online.
Okay, sir, repeat here.
Sure. So if you see system, what is using system? So using system, so I didn't write this code, right? So once I create a new application or new console application, so it was generated automatically because Microsoft designed or created this namespace. So we should use that namespace members while creating any program. Okay. So this is a .NET framework namespace. So if you want to print anything in .NET, what we need? Console dot write line. If you see console dot write line of .NET demo or .NET day one. See guys, so if I want to print anything, I need a class file to print, right? Here console is a class, write line is a property of this class, console dot. So if you see, I'll type console, console. So console is a class file. It is a part of this using system namespace. Okay. Using system is a namespace which was created or designed by Microsoft already. So by using that namespace, we should use a class file based on your requirement. So if you want to print anything, the syntax is console dot write. So if you see console dot write, once I type in these dot write or dot wr, I just entered wrs. So it is showing two suggestions, write and write line. See, what is a write? Writes a text representation of the specific Boolean value to the standard output stream. So what is write line? Writes the current line terminator to the standard output stream. See, here write and write line is used to write a data, but there is a slight difference between write and write line. Write is used to write a text in the value of the standard output stream. In this sense, it will display the text in a single line. So if you see console dot write of .NET, so you should write any text inside this double quote. Okay, .NET demo. In Chutar, each line ends with a semicolon. If you enter a semicolon, the line ends there. Okay, let me add console dot write of .NET demo day one. Okay, ends with a semicolon. So to write to run this program, to see the output, if you see here on top, we have these demo with a triangle, right inverted, right? Or else if you see debug, if you click on this debug option, you can see start debugging, start without debugging. Debugging is nothing but what is the value it is holding inside, that we can see by using a debug. So if you want to run start debugging, so let me start this, and you can see the output now, or as it will open one console window. See, .NET demo day one. Even though if you observe in this program, console.write, I have written these two statements in two different console applications, or console.write statement, though it is displaying in a single line, because console.write, it won't break the first line, because it will display all the data in a single line. See, if you see console dot, let me write, let me stop the execution. If you see this window, the black screen window is nothing but a console. We can, so if you see Microsoft Visual Studio debug console, so it will display the output. So we take this as a console window. Okay. It is taking, where is the zoom out option? Control minus. Once in a minute. Okay, actually I forgot the mouse. We minus this. Here it is. See, so let me write one more console dot write line. If you type entering something, so it is showing you the IntelliSense. We can call these as an IntelliSense, right? Console dot, if you type in write, it is displaying the list which is starting with write. So here also they are following these IntelliSense technique. What is there? If you open any Google, type in nearby, or else anything, like, let me open view one Google window. See, let me search for anything. So I just type in today. Okay, what are all the things which is starting with today? It is showing, see, today weather, today goal rate, today match, today ISL match, or anything. So we can call this list as an IntelliSense, right? So if you type in T, it will display similar. So if you see the history as well, TO, token based, today goal rate, today match. Let me type in tomorrow. So tomorrow weather result. Tomorrow is a holiday. Tomorrow cricket match. So we can call this list as an IntelliSense. Okay. Similar in .NET also. If you start typing write, it is displaying what are all the properties for this console. Console dot will tell you what are all the objects with involved with respect to that. So here console is a class. What are all the class objects we have, or class properties we have? Console dot write line. See, I want to write .NET demo day 1 topics. Let's say I'm just ending this with a semicolon. I'm running this program. Try to observe the output. See, because .NET demo day 1 topics. See, if you observe in the program, I have I written this in 3 lines of code. Instead, even though if I write this in right line, why it is showing in a single line? Maybe you will get a query, because if you see, just observe guys, the next statement, maybe you will get a solution for your doubt. Console dot write, let me write it, write only topic introduction. Okay, let me end with a semicolon. So let me give a space here. You will get an idea. Just observe guys. I just run, I just save and running the program. Just concentrate. See, so here till topics, it is showing in a single line. But if you see the introduction, it went to the second line, because console dot till console dot write line, all these 3 statements we can it will consider as a single line, because right then right line. So where it break the line, right line. After this statement, it was break the line. It was break the line and enter into the next line. So here it was break. Okay. See, right line. If you enter a right line, it will go to the next line. If it is a right, it will continue in the same line. So clear? Guys, clear? So online guys, like online batch, like any queries, is it clear or do you want me to explain it again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, clear? Okay. See, similar like, so can I, shall I continue or any queries? Yes, okay, shall I continue? Okay. Sorry?
Okay, sir. Continue.
Okay, okay, fine. So, so this is a sample program, just like a demo program. So how to write a program in a by using a Visual Studio development environment. Okay. So next topic. So I'll take one variable here, and how to print that variable. We'll see what is a variable and what is the use of a variable. Variable is used to hold the value. Okay. So variable is used to hold the value. So which kind of value or what is the value? So it will hold any type of value. So based on the data type. Based on the data type. So what are all the what is a data type? Data type is used so based on your return. So if you want to hold an integer value, what is the data type you should use? Put for a text. If you want to print some text, or if you want to hold any value, what is the data type we need? Integer for integer value. If it is a character, char for single letter, we should use a string. Okay, char is for single letter, and double or decimal, bool, boolean, float, byte. So we have a lot of things. Okay. First we discuss these three. Okay, because we have discussed this already. Therefore, I'm just repeating further. So guys, so variable is used to hold the value. So what kind of a value it will hold? Or so if you want to hold a numeric value, we should use int. See, guys, int. If you start typing int, it is showing an int uh, student number is equal to. It will start from 101. Let's say. Okay. So here, if you see in .NET, it will follow a camel casing naming convention. Okay. Camel casing naming convention. What is a camel casing? Camel casing, Pascal casing. So we have a number of casing based on the standards we are following. So based on the language we are using, it will follow the naming conventions. So camel casing is nothing but if you see, if it is a variable student, small letters, and followed by the next thing is a capital letter. If it is a student number, N is a capital. So let me type in for a string. Here student, first letter should be a small and followed by the second letter should be a capital. Okay, name. For only first letter is capital, remaining followed by small. Student name is equal to, let's say, ABC. Okay, see here. So for to hold any integer value, we should give int as a data type. Here int is a data type. If you hover on it, represents a 32-bit signed integer. So this is it will hold 32-bit integer value only. Okay, if you go beyond that, we should take a long int. Okay. So for now, just try to concentrate on basic data types. Maybe in future, maybe once we are going for or discussing the next set of items, what is a long int, what is how we should use a long int, or how to identify what to take an int or long int. Maybe we'll discuss later. Basic data types, maximum percentage will be used in a day-to-day programming is these things. We have a lot of things as if it is as it is your today's class, first class. I'm just giving you a basic idea. Okay, int student number, string student name, string let's say address. Okay, address equal to we can take click that Hyderabad. Okay, then double. See, when I hit on double, so double I'll give fees. Okay, what is let's say we'll take 10,000. Let's say if you see here, what is a double here? Represents a double precision floating point number. See, precision, double precision means like you will have a decimal. It will take a decimal value as well. See, if you want to give a decimal value after that, so it will we can take it as a double. Then what is a difference between a double and a decimal? Fees. So it is following a camel case, right? Or else fee new equal to. So guys, I'm giving a same value. See, what is an error here? See, if you see, literally of type double cannot be implicitly converted from type double to use an m suffix to create a literally of this type. See, if we shouldn't give a value like this for a decimal because this is of type read out there literally of type double. If you want to give we should give with decimal of what it is asking. Use a m suffix to create a literally of this type, or else we can type in uh, anything. So even though it is a double type, you want to create it with a decimal as a decimal. What it is asking, see, it is giving you an error saying like, even though if you want to create, use a m suffix to create a letter of this type. Suffix is nothing but ending point. Prefix is a starting point. Prefix you should give here. If it is a suffix, you should give this. Okay. Then what is the difference between both? Maybe we'll explain you later. So because there is a slight difference between a double and decimal. Double will take 32 characters after that decimal. Uh, decimal will take 16 numbers after the decimal. Okay. I'll maybe next sessions I'll explain you. What is a float? Float f equal to 2.5. Let's see what it is asking for. Suffix with f. So what is a float? Represents a single precision floating point. Single precision means after the dot, you should, so it will allow you to enter only a single precision number. Okay. So if you give, so more than that, it will ignore. Okay. If you give after that value also, it will ignore. It will take only the single precision. Okay. 2.5. So what is the use of this float? If you want to represent some percentage or a temperature, let's say 2.5 Fahrenheit. So it will display in that weather report. So in that scenario, we can use this float. Okay. Bool. Bool means, let's say, is holiday. See guys, I'm using a camel casing equal to true. True or false. So true or false statement means nothing but if it is a holiday, it will return true. Else false. Like similar Boolean kind of thing. So we should use true or false. Okay. So we have these set of things. We have byte, byte, long, arrays, list of strings, collections, generics, lot of things. Okay, I'll share you that as well. So for now, just I want to print the student number. So what is the statement we should use? To print any statement in .NET, we should use console dot right line of student. Yes, repeat, student number is. Okay, this. So what is there inside this double quote? It won't change. This is a static, right? Text. So if you want to add anything, we should use concatenation operator plus we should use the variable student number. So what is the use of a variable? Variable is used to store a value, and main thing is for reusability, right? Student number, instead of 101 student number, I can use like this also, right? Right? See, let me run a program and see the output. Student number is 101. Then what is the use of this variable? See, see here. I'm just copying these three lines. Okay. So 101. But here I want to display 102. Then what you can use? Simply concatenation operator of outside this double quote, use plus we call it as a concatenation operator. Concatenation means you are adding a variable or a string to the existing string. So here till from here to here is a string. we are concatenating to the existing student number. See, and see the output here. Student number is 101, student number is 102, student number is 103. See, here I have hard coded first line and third line 101, 103, but second line it is taking a value from this variable. Got it? So, what is the use of this? Main thing is reusability, or let's say, if you have a students of 10 members, for all the 10 members, this the address is same, let's say, or else the batch ID is same. In that scenario, student batch ID is, so your batch ID, let's say your batch ID is 1001. Let's say I want to use this batch ID for all my students. Student 1, student 2, student 3. For all these members, batch ID is same, right? So in that scenario, I can use this student number instead of writing it 1001 here in this string. I can use this variable, right? Guys, are you getting me? You guys, see, just try to
Yes, sir.
acknowledge if you are getting. If you are getting or not, you just acknowledge me so that I can move forward. See, I'm using the same variable name for all my three students, student 1, student 2, student 3. Here I can use the student number n number of times so that I can declare it once and I can use it n number of times so that we can tell it as a reusability, right? See, for all the students, batch ID is same, but I have declared it once and I have stored it in a batch number or student number. So this is a use of a variable. Variable is used to hold the value, and main advantage of a variable is main important thing, reusability. This is an important basic. Okay, even though if you go for an interview as an entry level or else as an experience or as anything, they will ask you what is the use of variable simply. Then what you should tell, variable is used to hold the value. The main use of a variable is reusability. So how can we achieve a reusability? You can give the same example. So for now I'm just removing all these. I'm just commenting. Just concentrate on integer or any data type. It might be any data type. So based on, if it is an integer, we can call it a student batch IDs. If it is a name, student or else institute name is, we can store that value in the string variable. Okay, the main use of variable is used to hold the value of any data type. Main what will achieve to by storing the value means reusability. Okay, so here console dot read line. What is use of console dot read line? So if you see, I'm just running you the program. I can see the console. This is a console window. Okay, let me comment this and try to run. See, the console will pop up and it is asking, see, right? What was that? See, users, let's say, excited with 0 to automatically close the console when debugging stops. Okay, but it shouldn't display this also. Let me run this again. Build, rebuild. So if you see here what it is telling, so it is not, it will close the console when debugging stops. So to hold this console application, next console window, we should write console.readline. Otherwise, it will close this window automatically. If you click enter, so it will close. You see, it was closed automatically. So if you want to retain this window, we need this console.readline. Console.readline is also a part of console class. See, let me type in console dot write line, read line, write, read, background color. All these are console class properties. Okay, clear? So I'll take a pause here, guys. Maybe for today. So I'll take a pause here and just if you have any queries, you can ask me. I'll happy to explain you. Any queries in today's class? Just a small introduction only. Maybe from tomorrow I'll write a real-time programmings from so the main agenda. So maybe within 2 months, maybe we should complete this .NET batch with a proper programming. Okay, so let's say I'll take a mock interviews also by end up. Mock interviews nothing but a sample interviews. So what is your knowledge on this .NET, and so how confident are you? So what are all the blocks, or what are all the challenges we are facing, or any is there any gaps, so that we can repeat that. Okay, so I'll take a pause here for today's class. Just let me know if you have any queries. Lakshit, Lochana, Raghavendra, you guys, like any queries? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Just share me your mail IDs in this chat window so that I'll just send me your mail IDs here, guys. I'll share you the PPT by today, you end of the day. I'm just displaying these things. Just give me your mail IDs as well. First one is Ramakrishna. Your mail ID, please. See, Ramakrishna 2980, right? At the rate email. Okay, Prakash. Why? Sanjay Prakash 80. Correct only, right? Okay, Hari Babu. 1 second, guys. Hari only. Okay. Malli again. Okay. Correct. Sachinarani. Naveen Kotra. What is your full name? Naveen Kotra. 91. Pawan Pamarthi, right? Right. And Gopi Pamarthi 124. Okay. Guys, okay, fine. Lochana. Okay. Control C. Srishma, what is your qualification? Hello.
M.Com, sir.
M.Com, right?
M.Com, sir.
Which
Yes,
year?
sir. 2022, sir.
2000?
22. 22.
Okay. And what about the others? Raghavendra? Lakshit and Raghavendra, can you share your mail IDs and qualification and year of passed out? Lakshit, I can't hear you. Actually, I don't know why. ఐడి ఉందా నీకు? మెయిల్ ఐడి మెయిల్ ఐడి లక్షిత్ రైట్ పోస్ట్ ఎవరు మనదేని ఇది ఎవరు క్రియేట్ చేశారు ఇది ఓకే సార్ ఫైన్ రాఘవేంద్ర
So,
so can you give
hello.
give me your mail ID?
Hello, sir, am I audible?
Can you give me your mail ID?
BOYI
Just let me know.
YI
BOYI.
REDDY
Okay.
1999 @gmail.com.
Okay. Your configuration is MA, right?
BA, sir, BA.
BA 20.
2019, sir.
Okay. Okay.
So one thing, if possible, can you share the class video also? Actually, there is a lot of disturbance with the audio and video, so there is non-sync sometimes.
Sure. I'll share with the PPT. Maybe we are not recording this class, but if you are facing any such kind of issue, just
Sure.
raise your point then and there only. Okay. Raise the
Okay.
flag saying like I'm not audible or I'm not visible or I'm not clear, so that I'll
Actually,
make the setting.
your voice is audible, but actually what happened was the audible and the video is not in sync actually. So
Syncing
video
up,
was
right?
very late. Yeah, video was very late to display.
Yeah, tomorrow I'll share you the Zoom link better instead of this go to
Yes.
meeting. If
Yeah.
you use the Zoom, so maybe there shouldn't be any lag. Okay.
Okay.
We'll
That
try
would be
tomorrow.
better.
If you are facing the same thing tomorrow, just let me know. So I'll share you the Zoom link tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thanks for joining, guys. Like Raghavendra and Trilochana. So we will
Thank you.
continue tomorrow. If you have any queries, just come up with the queries. Anything is fine. Whether it is a silly thing or else valid thing is also is acceptable, because for first 2 weeks it is very important to know the basics. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Trilochana, is it fine for you?
Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
Fine. So any queries, guys? Any doubts? Consultants. Okay. I'll see. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining. We'll catch
Thank
you
you, sir.
tomorrow, 9 o'clock sharp. Okay. Please be
Okay, sir.
ready by
Thank you.
9. Okay. We'll connect you at 9 p.m. 9 a.m. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.